Hi, this is Bill, and this is going to be a comparison of two different servos. And the servo on the left over here is a Solar D771 servo, and I'm going to be comparing a few tests against the Savox 1258 over here on the right. And as you can see, what I've done is I've got identical battery packs and identical ESCs. These are both low C 12 turn ESCs, and I've got both both receivers bound to the same FlySky FS GT3 radio. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these on, and we're going to go ahead and see what the comparison is of speed. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn both servos to the same here, and this is just the stock basic BEC. As you can see, the servo on the right is just a tad faster. It looks like the solar servo doesn't quite get there as fast as the Savox. But what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to use this wiring harness that actually draws the power off of the balance port for the battery pack. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in, and it's a little unique for the solar servo in that we'll go ahead and unplug that, and it can actually accept a high voltage, which is up to a 2-cell LiPo pack, and we're going to go ahead and do that here. Okay. So same servo setup, except now we get a little bit of boost, and we'll see what happens now. Now, from what I'm seeing here, it looks pretty close. If anything, the solar dead even almost, as far as I can tell. Alright, now the next test I'm going to have to set up a little bit, and I'll be right back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some loaded weight onto the servos and see how they perform under load. Thank you. Okay, for the second part of this test, what I've done is I've hooked up a couple of wires exactly 1 inch from the center of the servo on the servo arm, and I've tethered it to this to the wire with a 6-pound weight on each side. So this is going to be equal amount of weight, of course, for each servo. Now the idea will be to see which one can lift it the quickest. And now the difference here is that the solar servo on the left is using high voltage, where the Savox 158 on the right is using low voltage. And it looks to me like the clear winner is going to be the solar servo with high voltage. Thanks for watching. And for those who are wondering what the performance of the solar servo is like without the high voltage harness hooked up, I'm going to go ahead and place I've disconnected that, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on here, and we'll test that alongside with the, and we'll see how that goes. And as it turns out, the solar servo has no lift whatsoever. So basically what we've learned here is the solar servos are excellent servos with the high voltage option, but without the high voltage hooked up, they really don't work as well as a Savox. Okay, while putting everything up on my last test, I noticed that the temperature of the solar servo was a little bit warmer. So I'm going to go ahead and get a temperature reading here, and it's showing about 86 degrees. And then the Savox servo is showing about 82 degrees. So the Savox under load seems to handle temperature a little bit better, and the solar is a little bit warmer under load. I also want to thank Jang from the Ultimate RC. He actually donated this Solar D771 servo for me to do this test. Thank you, Jang.